Okay. Yesterday we discussed about advanced XPath techniques. So we have left with some more XPath techniques. So now let's go to the next parts. Okay. Yesterday we discussed about following and okay. We have left with the ancestor. Okay. What is meant by ancestor? We will see. So I'm taking the current web element XPath as username. So right click and click on inspect. Control F. Okay. So I have taken XPath of web element username. And I want to know what are the ancestors. So following means whichever is following from the current web element. Okay, preceding means from the current web element, what is my immediate preceding web element. So ancestor means what is my immediate parent web element, what is my immediate grandparents. So ancestor means identifying the parents and grandparent web elements. Okay, so suppose I'm writing / ancestor and colon and I'm writing division tag. One second. So I'm writing / ancestor and I'm writing colon and I'm looking for the division web elements. So see, this is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it contains so many ancestors. Means ancestor means topmost web elements. Okay, so it's parent and its grandparents. Suppose if you will take, so this is my current web element XPath. So the immediate parent web element is this one. Okay, so if I want to identify that one, I have to write division of 1. If I will highlight division of 2 means something else. Okay, so like that we can able to identify the ancestors. Okay, so not only immediate parent web element, so it's grandparent and grandparent web element. So we can able to identify the topmost web whatever web elements will be available on the top of the web page. So those web elements also we can able to identify. See, similarly I have written like this. For txt password I have taken this one, so ancestor of division of 1. So sometimes if you want to go through the topmost web elements, you can also use the keyword ancestor. Okay, so not only preceding, and we can also use ancestor. Ancestor means identifying the parent and grandparent web elements. See, so I have selected this parent current web element, and this is the, so whichever web element is highlighted, that is the grand parent. So this is my password, and what is my, so that is highlighted, so whichever is highlighted, that is the parent. So like that we can able to locate the ancestors, right? Now let's go to the child. Suppose I'm taking this web element XPath. Okay, let me inspect. Control F, Control V. So one second, let me refresh the page. So this is, so the see the highlighted one in the HTML DOM page, it is highlighted in yellow color. So this is the web element. It contains input tag and it contains span tag. So this one we can call it as a current web element. So for the current web element, it contains some child web elements. So I can write child / child colon and whatever tag name is there. So input is the tag name. So I'm writing input. So like that. So I can use this one for the username text field XPath. Okay. So similarly, I'm taking like that. Okay, division child input of 1. So similarly, division password. So this one, so this is the password. It contains some child web elements. So input and span tags. So I want to know what are the childs. If it contains childs, it will show you. If it does not, it will show you 0 of 0. Okay. Input. So like this. So for if the current web element is having some childs, so we can write like this: child of, input of, anchor tag, span tag, whatever you want. Okay, if the web element contains some childs, just you need to write the tag names. So like that we can able to identify the childs of a current web element. So the exact opposite concept for child is parent. Okay, so I'm going to the parent. So you know the child web element XPath. You know the child web element XPath. So control F. You know the child web element XPath. Okay. So what is its parent web element? This is the division tag is available. Okay. I want to know that XPath of the division tag. So double slash and parent. I have to write parent. Parent of division tag. See. So parent of division. So from the current web element, I am able to find immediate parent web element one. But if I want to know the its parent and if I its grandparent also, then I have to write ancestor only. But for the current web element, if I want to know what is my immediate parent, then we need to write parent of colon colon and division tag. Okay. So like that I'm writing. So if you know any of the web element, so we can easily find out its parent as well. If you know child web element XPath, we can able to find out its parent web element XPaths like that. Okay, right. Now we have left with following siblings. Following siblings. Okay, now let's go to the following siblings. Control C, Control F, Control V. So I have taken, I'm minimizing all the division tags here. So this is, I have taken division tag web element XPath. I have taken division tag web element XPath. ID is equal to username. So that is the one I have taken. So following siblings means who the web element, it has to available on the same level of hierarchy. Okay. So the same level of hierarchy, it contains division password and division login button. So these are the following web elements. Okay, following siblings. Siblings means you know what is the dictionary meaning. So in the same level of hierarchy, whatever web elements are available, so identifying those web elements. So let me write following siblings. I'm writing following sibling and division tag I'm writing. See, division of 2 of 3, division of 3 of 3, 1 of 3, 2 of 3, 3 of 3. So I'm writing like this: 1 of 3, 2 of 3, 3 of 3. Okay. So I identify. So what is a following siblings means identifying the web elements on the same level of hierarchy. Suppose this is not the following sibling of that current web element. Okay. And this is not the sibling of that web element because this is some different level of hierarchy. So in the same level of hierarchy, whatever is there, those we can call it as a following sibling. This is the following sibling. This is the following sibling. So like that, I can easily identify by using following siblings also, I can identify the corresponding web element XPaths. Right. And we have one more keyword, descendant. So if I know one web element XPath, so this is my web element XPath. So this is my division ID is equal to username. It contains some childs. So input and span. So you can also write instead of span, you can also write descendant as well. Child and descendants are synonyms. So you can use any of the keyword. Descendant and colon colon input I write. So it contains some input tag. It contains some span tag also. I can write span tag also. So like that, I am able to find out. Okay, descendant and child are same concepts. Okay. So do we left anything? So self keyboard is the only left. So we completed everything. Okay. Okay. Let me finish
Starts
self
with
as well.
starts with NC.
Starts with text of, we already discussed in yesterday. Contains text of, starts with text of. We discussed right yesterday. Starts with inbox. Okay. And self. Self means identifying the web element by itself. Generally, this self nobody will use. Okay. So whatever tag name is identifying the web element by itself, it is known as self input tag. So self is also a keyword to identify by itself, but normally nobody will use this syntax. Okay. Right. So that's it on that. So from the summary of these web elements, okay, if you know any of one web element XPath, okay, we can identify other web element XPaths. Okay, by using parent, by using child keyword, by using following, by using ancestor, by using parent, by using following siblings, okay, by using preceding. Okay, preceding means you know some current web element XPath. What is my immediate preceding web element? So like that so if you go through, if you just open the program and observe, so this is your current program, the immediate preceding is this one. So like that you need to understand every concept. Okay, no need to do any practice on this program, just you need to understand the concept. Okay, and you can copy it, control C and control F, and you can check it, control C, and you can do control F, control V. So for the current web element, you can do practice like this on the XPaths. So you can write the preceding of input of one. So just copy this one, paste it here. So preceding of input of one means what is that one? So you can understand like that. Okay, so just change the keyword instead of preceding. So if it is child concept, so this is the current web element. So for the current web element, what are the childs? Just you can write. So just if you refer the program, you can easily understand. So if you go through this program, this is my current web element. So for the current web element, the ancestor one, what is the ancestor? So just like that, we can able to identify the XPath of reference web element XPaths. Okay. So that's it on the advanced XPath techniques. Before moving on to the next topic, has anybody any doubts in advanced XPaths? Okay, looks like everyone is okay. Okay, you can go through the recording part wherever you have got stuck, and just control. You have to do on this lab. Just you need to control C, take the current web element XPath, and do control F. And you can analyze yourself, following of input of one, following of division tags, following of span tags, like that you need to understand and give the index number so that corresponding will be highlighted. Okay, that is the part you need to analyze. Yes.
Button అనే కీవర్డ్ తో సెట్ చేస్తే బటన్ హ్యాస్ అదే /button @type అయితే టైప్, నేమ్ అయితే నేమ్, సెర్చ్
అర్థం కాల. ఇప్పుడు ఇక్కడ ఇట్లాంటిదా, ఇదా మీరు అంటుంది? హలో, క్లాస్ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు బటన్
కాదు సార్, సెర్చ్ బటన్ ని మనం XPath ఫైండ్ చేయాలనుకోండి సార్.
సెర్చ్ బటన్, ఓకే. సో అక్కడ దాని ప్రాపర్టీస్ ఇన్స్పెక్ట్ రాసేసి కాపీ XPath తీసుకోండి.
మనం XPath ఫైండ్ చేసిన తర్వాత అదే సెర్చ్ బటన్ 2 ఉన్నాయి అనుకోండి సార్, ఒకే వెబ్ పేజ్ లో 2 చూపిస్తుంది సార్, సెర్చింగ్ 1 of 2, 2 of 2 అని. ఆ రెండింటి మధ్యన డిఫరెన్స్ అనేది మనం ఎలా ఫైండ్ చేయాలి సార్, ఏది మనకు కావాలనేది?
రైట్. సో ఓకే, వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్ పాయింట్. ఓకే, సో సమ్ టైమ్స్ ఏంటంటే ఒక వెబ్ పేజ్ లో 2 సెర్చ్ బటన్స్ ఉన్నాయి. యూజర్ మనకి ఇక్కడ ఇచ్చాడు సెర్చ్ బటన్, ఇక్కడ ఇచ్చాడు. ఓకే, సో మీరు ఇలా రాయాలి. చూపిస్తారు, వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్ డౌట్ ఈజ్ ఆస్కింగ్. టెక్స్ట్ ఆఫ్ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు, సపోజ్ మీరు షార్ట్ కట్ లో ఏదో రాశారు సెర్చ్ బటన్ అని. ఇలా సెర్చ్ బటన్ మనకి ఏదో మనం XPath సిస్టమ్ ఇచ్చింది అయినా అనుకోండి, ఏదైనా అనుకోండి. సో వెన్ యూ సెర్చ్ విత్ దట్ వన్, ద XPath ఇట్ ఈస్ షోయింగ్ 1 of 2, 1 of 2 అని షో చేస్తుంది. కానీ ఇంకా ఆబ్జెక్ట్ ప్రాపర్టీస్ ఇంకేం లేవు దానికి, ఐడి గానీ నేమ్ గానీ ఏమీ లేదు. ఆబ్జెక్ట్ ప్రాపర్టీస్, రైట్, అదే చెప్తుంది. సో ఇంపార్టెంట్ డౌట్. ఓకే, సో దెర్ ఈస్ నో అదర్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ ప్రాపర్టీస్. మనం వేరే ఇచ్చి రాయటానికి అండ్ అని యాడ్ చేద్దామన్నా రెండిటికి సేమే ఉన్నాయి. సో ఇటువంటి కేసులో హౌ టు ఐడెంటిఫై దట్ ఎక్స్పాత్ యాజ్ యూనిక్యూల్. సో మీకు ఇంకా ఐడి ప్రాపర్టీ యాడ్ చేసి అండ్ పెట్టి రాద్దామంటే అన్ని సేమ్ ఉన్నాయి, రెండు వెబ్ ఎలిమెంట్స్. సో ఇటువంటి కేసులో ఏం చేయాలంటే ఇక్కడ బ్రాకెట్ బిగిన్ చేయండి, ఇక్కడ బ్రాకెట్ బిగిన్ చేయండి. ఓకేనా? సో గివ్ స్పేర్ బ్రాకెట్స్ ఫర్ దిస్ వన్ ఇలా. సో సెకండ్ సెర్చ్ బాక్స్ బటన్ కి ఇలా రాయాలి.
ఓకే సార్. ఆటోమేటిక్ గా ఫస్ట్ సెర్చ్ బార్ ఏదైతే అది అవుతుంది, సెకండ్ సెర్చ్ బార్ ఏదైతే అది అవుతుంది సార్.
అంతే.
ఎన్ నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ ఎన్ని ఉన్నా సరే అట్లా మనం స్పెసిఫై చేసుకోవాలి సార్. ఇండెక్స్
చేసుకోవచ్చు ఇలా ఎన్ని ఉన్నా సరే.
నిన్న ప్రాక్టీస్ చేసినప్పుడు ఇదే వచ్చింది సార్ డౌట్. అంతే, సేమ్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్స్ కూడా సేమ్ ఉన్నాయి సార్ రెండింటిలో.
అవునవును, రెండింటికి ఆబ్జెక్ట్ ప్రాపర్టీస్ సేమ్. ఐడి ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు సెర్చ్, నేమ్ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు సెర్చ్. దేర్ ఆర్ 2 వెబ్ ఎలిమెంట్స్ విత్ ద సిమిలర్ ప్రాపర్టీస్. ఓకే, సో నేను రాయడానికి ఇంకా నాకు అండ్ వెబ్ రాద్దామన్నా సేమ్ ఉన్నాయి. సో ద డ్రైవర్ ఆల్వేస్ ఇట్ లొకేట్స్ ఫస్ట్ వెబ్ ఎలిమెంట్ ఉంది, సెకండ్ దాన్ని ఐడెంటిఫై చేయలేదు బై డిఫాల్ట్. సో మీరు రాసిన టెక్స్ట్ ఆఫ్ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు సెర్చ్ అంటే బై డిఫాల్ట్ ఇట్ విల్ ట్రై టు క్లిక్ ఆన్ ఫస్ట్ వన్ ఉంది. But I want to write XPath exactly for the first one. You need to write like this. For the second one, you need to write XPath like this. Okay. Very good. Excellent out. Okay. Following siblings use chesi kuda right. Right. ఎందుకంటే దానికి ఇన్పుట్ సెర్చ్ బటన్ మధ్యలో ఉంటది కదా. సో దాని ముందు ఉన్న వెబ్ ఎలిమెంట్ ఫాలోయింగ్ సిబ్లింగ్స్ కూడా యూజ్ చేయొచ్చు. పాయింట్ అర్థమైందా? హలో, సంబడి ఆస్క్డ్. By using immediate preceding, so immediate preceding web element search అని దాన్ని కూడా ఆ టెక్నిక్ కూడా రాయొచ్చు. ఓకేనా? కానీ మీరు ఇది మాత్రం చాలా ఎక్కువగా రియల్ టైమ్ లో యూజ్ చేస్తారు. ఓకేనా? సో వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్. ఓకే, రైట్. ఓకే, వెరీ గుడ్, ఎక్సలెంట్. ఓకే, సో we have completed advanced XPath techniques. Sorry, does anybody have any doubts? Okay, నేను ఇంకొక డౌట్ చెప్పాలనుకున్నాను. స్టార్ట్స్ విత్ ఐడియా. ఓకే, సో మనం టెక్స్ట్ ఆఫ్ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు అని నేషనాలిటీస్ ఇది రాస్తున్నాము. ఇంకొక పాయింట్ కూడా చెప్పాలి మీకు. సో ఆబ్జెక్ట్ అట్రిబ్యూట్ మీద కూడా రాయొచ్చు. సపోజ్ నాకు మెనూ అడ్మిన్ నేషనాలిటీ అని ఉంది, ఇలా ఉంది. ఈ ఎక్స్పాత్ నేను ఐడి నా అప్లికేషన్ లో ఎవ్రీ టైం నా ఐడి మారిపోతుంది. సపోజ్ ఇక్కడ ఐడి వాల్యూ వచ్చేసరికి ఇలా ఉంది, ఐడి 123 అని ఉంది, ఐడి 123 అని ఉంది సమ్ ఎక్స్పాత్. సో నెక్స్ట్ టైం లాగినప్పుడు ఆ ఎక్స్పాత్ ఐడి 456 అవుతుంది, ఐడి 678 అవుతుంది. సో హౌ టు హ్యాండిల్ దట్ వన్? సో యూ కెన్ రైట్ స్టార్ట్స్ విత్ టెక్స్ట్ ఆఫ్ @i. సో యూ కెన్ యూజ్ దిస్ ఎక్స్పాత్. ఓకేనా? ఆబ్జెక్ట్ అట్రిబ్యూట్స్ కూడా రాసుకోవచ్చు. ఓకేనా
సార్? వన్ మోర్ డౌట్ సార్.
చెప్పండి
సార్. డైనమిక్ ఐడి ఇన్పుట్ కి ఫర్ సపోజ్ కి ఐడి తర్వాత ఒక నెంబర్ స్పెసిఫై నెంబర్ ఉంటే స్టార్ట్స్ విత్ రాస్తాం సార్. అలా కాకుండా ముందు నెంబర్ ఉండి ఆ తర్వాత ఐడి అని స్పెసిఫై చేసాడు అనుకోండి సార్, దానికి ఎలా రాస్తాం సార్? అట్లా ఏదైనా పాసిబుల్ ఉంటుందా సార్?
ముందు నెంబర్ ఉండి తర్వాత ఓకే, దానికి
123 అండర్స్కోర్ ఐడి అన్నా లేకపోతే 346 అండర్స్కోర్ ఐడి అని ఉన్నా సరే
ఏం జరిగింది? హలో
సార్.
ఓకే, ఇది ఆఫ్ చేయండి, ఇక్కడికి రండి. ఓకేనా? ఇది ఇక్కడ ఆఫ్ చేసి ఇక్కడ రండి. పవర్ లేదు కదా, టీవీ ఆన్ చేయొద్దు. 1 సెకండ్. ఓకే, నీకు ముందు ఐడి నెంబరు అంటే ఐడి 123 కాకుండా ఇక్కడ మారకుండా ఇక్కడ మారుతుంది అంటున్నావు, అంతేనా?
ఎస్ సార్, ఎస్ సార్. బిఫోర్ వస్తే సార్
ఇలా వస్తే అంతే కదా. అప్పుడు కంటైన్స్ టెక్స్ట్ ఆఫ్ రై
అది అంటే డైనమిక్ వెబ్ పేజ్ సార్.
ఓకే, 1 సెకండ్. దీనికి ఇంకో లాజిక్ ఏమి ఇచ్చారు అంటే మనకి సిఎస్ఎస్ ప్రాపర్టీస్ అని ల్యాబ్ నెంబర్ 45 లో ఉంది ఆ టాపిక్. చూపిస్తా. ల్యాబ్ నెంబర్ 5 లో ఈ టాపిక్ వచ్చినప్పుడు చెప్తాను. ఐడి మీద చాలా ఎక్సర్సైజ్ ఉన్నాయి, అప్పుడు చెప్తాను ఆ టాపిక్. అంటే కొన్ని ఎక్స్పాత్ తో హ్యాండిల్ చేయలేం, కొన్ని సిఎస్ఎస్ సెలెక్టర్స్ తో హ్యాండిల్ చేయొచ్చు. ఓకేనా? ఆ లొకేటర్ యూజ్ చేస్తే
నేను ఒక వెబ్ పేజ్ లో చూసా సార్, ఫస్ట్ నెంబర్ వచ్చి ఆ తర్వాత ఐడి వస్తుంది సార్.
అవును, అది కూడా అవన్నీ మనం సిఎస్ఎస్ సెలెక్టర్స్ తో ఈజీగా మేనేజ్ చేయొచ్చు. ఆ ప్రాపర్టీ అది వచ్చినప్పుడు ఆ క్లాస్ లో వచ్చినప్పుడు చెప్తాను. అది Okay, so now we have completed advanced XPath topics. So now we are going to చెప్పండి. 9 web elements. 9 images ఉన్నాయి. 9 images ఉన్నాయి. ప్రతి వెబ్ ఎలిమెంట్ కి ఒక ఇమేజ్ కదా, ప్రతి ఇమేజ్ మీద మనం రైట్ క్లిక్ చేసినప్పుడు దాని XPath వస్తుంది. సో కంపల్సరీగా దాని ఇండెక్స్ ఇప్పుడు నేను చెప్పాను కదా, ఇప్పుడు చెప్పాను కదా. సో ఫస్ట్ ఇది 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 1 of 9 అని వస్తుంది అనుకో. సో ఇట్లా బ్రాకెట్ పెట్టేసి దాని 1, ఇట్లా బ్రాకెట్ పెట్టేసి దాని 2, ఇట్లా బ్రాకెట్ పెట్టేసి 3. సో 9 వెబ్ ఎలిమెంట్స్ ని యూనిక్ గా ఐడెంటిఫై చేయొచ్చు. అర్థమైందా? సో నీకు ఇక్కడ తీసినప్పుడు 1 of 9 ఇమేజెస్ అని వస్తుంది. సో ఇట్లా బ్రాకెట్ పెట్టేసి ఇట్ క్లోజ్ చేయి, ఇక్కడ 1 అని. సో వీ కెన్ గెట్ ద ఎగ్జాక్ట్ వెబ్ ఎలిమెంట్ XPath. అవును, డిఫరెంట్ డౌట్ అది. ఓకేనా, ఈ కాన్సెప్ట్ వేరు. ఈ కాన్సెప్ట్ ఏంది, ఫస్ట్ వీఆర్ ఐడెంటిఫైయింగ్ ద XPath ఆఫ్ ఎ కరెక్ట్ వెబ్ ఎలిమెంట్. సో నీకు 1 of 9 వచ్చింది, యూ వాంట్ టు ఐడెంటిఫై ద ఎగ్జాక్ట్ లొకేటర్. నువ్వు అడిగేది డిఫరెంట్ సినారీ. సో నీకు ఫస్ట్ నీకు XPath తెలిస్తేనే కదా యూ కెన్ ఏబుల్ టు పెర్ఫార్మ్ ఎనీథింగ్, డ్రాగ్ అండ్ డ్రాప్ ఏవైనా సరే. ఓకేనా, సో అది ఏదైనా డౌట్ ఉంటే ప్రాక్టికల్ చూపించి నేను ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేస్తాను. Okay, now today's class we are going to continue. Okay, simple topic I want to take. Okay. So we are going to discuss about page object model. Okay, lab number 29. Okay, let me open my page object model running notes. C drive HTML report page object model. Okay. 90% of the companies, means 80% of the companies, they are following a strategy as page object model. Okay, so which approach that you are using, that you are following to automate a test case? So in 80 to 90% of the companies, they are following page object model approach. Oh, so what is mean by page object model approach? Let's understand that point. See, we have login page, we have home page, and we have nationality space. For login page, I'm writing a separate Java class as login.java. Okay, and for home page, I'm writing a separate Java class as homepage.java. For nationality space, I'm writing separate Java class as nationalities.java. So far, what we are doing, we are developing login method, logout method, add nationalities method, everything in a single class file. Okay, single Java class file, we are developing all the methods. But now onwards, what I am doing, for every web page, suppose if in my login page, I am writing a separate Java file as login.java. So I'm going to create a login.java which contains only login specific method, public void login method, and set of driver instructions it contains. That's it only. Similarly for home page means what you will do, welcome click and logout click. So you will write logout method only, because generally you will do logout from the home page itself. So I'm writing homepage.java. For nationality space, I'm writing nationality.java. So in the nationality space, what we are doing, add nationality, modify nationality, delete nationality, search nationalities, like that. If it is skills space, I can write skills.java, add skills to modify skills, delete skills, search skills, like that I'm going to write. So, and once every web page has been developed, okay, I can write my tc01 add nationalities.java file. So this is the TestNG class I can create. I can create tc01 add nationalities.testng class I will create, and I will call login method, and I will call add nationalities method, and I will call logout methods. So how this approach I am going to develop, I will show you. Okay, so first I'm going to develop my login page.java. Okay, let me show you that part. So we know how to create TestNG class and how to write login page. So I have written login page.java. Okay, so this login page.java contains public class login page, and every class I'm declaring my web driver is equal to null. Okay, Forget about this method. I will tell you about this method later. So, and I'm writing method as public void login method, and I'm writing set of driver instructions. And to highlight the web element border, I'm keeping this method in every class. Okay, so that's it. So I will explain about this method later. So so this class contains login page method. Okay, so set of driver instructions, it contains login page. Okay, now let's go to the second one. So what is the second one I have to explain? Home page. Okay, nationality space first we will see. So I'm opening nationality space, public class nationalities. So this is the TestNG class, contains public void add nationality method and set of driver instructions related to add nationality method. And so like that, it contains add nationality, modify nationality, and web element border highlighted, and as usual WebDriver driver I declare. Okay, so I will tell you about this method later. So the class name and method name I'm writing same thing. I will explain this method again later. Okay, so I have written so I have developed a TestNG class as nationalities and add nationality I have done. Okay, now last point is home page. So home page class I have created welcome.click and logout.click. Okay, so in the home page I'm doing this logout method and I have written like this. Web element border highlighted method I kept it, and WebDriver driver is equal driver. So the summary is, we are writing logout method in home page. We are writing add nationality, modify nationality methods we are writing in the nationalities, and login page method contains login. So the login method, so for every web page we are writing dedicated methods into that class. Okay, so after that, how to execute my test case? Okay, that is the important part. Okay, let me go to my point. I have created a class, TestNG class. Just create a TestNG class. And like that, I have created a TestNG class TC01 add nationalities. And I declared my WebDriver. Okay. And in the @before test section, driver. Okay, one second. In the @before test section, as usual, logging off browser, invoking the application URL, I have written. That's it. And coming to the @test. Okay. Add nationalities. I'm writing my method name is add nationalities. So this is the method I have written. Okay. This contains, so I want to call my login method. So login page class contains login method. So to access these static methods, how I have to call? I have to create the object. Login page L1 is equal to new login page of L1.login. Okay. Nationalities N1 is equal to, I'm creating the object because those are non-static methods. These methods are available in those classes. And N1 dot add nationality. Okay. And home page H1 is equal to new home page of H1 dot logout. So I'm calling the required methods. Previously, what I am doing, I'm writing all these methods in a single Java class, and I'm calling, I have created only one object and I'm calling the methods. But now what I am doing, for every web page, I am writing a separate Java file and I am developing my test case. Okay, now let's come to the point. What is this method? So L1.login page of driver, I'm passing this driver to login page method. So whenever this method will execute, so I'm clicking on this login page, I pressed the control button and I'm clicking on this method. So the driver object, it is passing to here. So WebDriver driver means the driver is coming and the driver is giving control access back to the current class driver. This driver means this one. So it is by default in your class, the WebDriver is not ready to execute the set of driver instructions. So whenever the driver is giving control access back to the current class driver, okay, it can able to execute set of driver instructions. Okay, so once my driver is active, once I am giving the control access back to the current class driver, and I'm calling the L1.login method so that it can able to execute the same set of driver instruction with that same driver instance. Okay, so this is the driver means, so this is the driver only, it is coming from there. So I'm passing the driver. This is the driver I am passing to login page. So whenever this method is passing, so just I'm pressing control button, I'm clicking on this method. So this driver is giving control access back to the current class WebDriver. So once it get activated, once it gets control from the law, from the main page, okay, from the main test case, it is ready to execute this set of driver instruction. After that, I'm calling my method L1.login method. Similarly, I want to execute, so login method steps are executed. Okay, and the same driver I want to pass it for nationality space as well. So I'm pressing control button and I'm clicking on nationalities. So I want to pass this driver. So by default, your driver is not ready, and I'm giving the control access back to the nationalities web driver web page. So I'm giving the control. So your driver is ready. After that, it is ready to execute your set of driver. That's why first I'm passing the driver to that Java class, and after that I'm calling the required methods. Similarly, home page. Now I want to execute my logout method. First of all, I have to pass the driver. So I have created an object and I'm passing the driver, home page driver. So the same driver instance, it is passed here. And after that, I welcome.click and logout.click. So in this page object model, the main concept is how you have to pass the object, how you have to pass the driver object from one page to another page. That is the main point you need to understand. Okay, so whenever once the driver is passed, so what is a page object model means? For every web page, we will write a separate Java class, and we will call the required methods from that Java class. So you have to execute login method and add nationality method and logout method. So these methods are executing. Okay, and finally, at the rate after test close browser driver.quit is executed. Okay, sir, why we need to follow this approach? Previously, that program is very simple. Why we have to go with this approach only? Why companies are following this approach only? So let's understand that point. Anyway, we understood the approach. So for every web page, we are creating the object, and object dot method name, non-static methods we are calling object dot method. So the concept wise, we are following everything. So why I have to follow this approach? Why I cannot follow the previous approach? Okay, so that is the point I need to understand. Okay, let me go through the point. Okay, so now I understood nationality space. Suppose I want to develop a test case for TC01 modify nationalities. I want to develop a test case for existing record details. I want to modify nationalities. I have to develop. So let's go to this point. So I am copying this TC01 add nationalities copy method, and I'm pasting here, and I'm modifying main test case, modify nationalities, and I'm clicking on OK and go back to here. So launching of browser is required, login is required, and instead of add nationality, what method I have to call? n1.modify nationality, because that modify nationality method is I have already developed. So just I'm calling. So my test automation completed. How much time it is taking? Fraction of seconds it is done. Okay, so do I need to write freshly login method again? Do I need to write logout method again? Okay, only I have to write this one. Okay, let us assume I have already developed skill space. Skill space, I have developed add skills method. I want to automate a scenario TC01 add skills. Okay, let me delete this order. Okay, I'm copying this TC01 nationality, copy, and I'm pasting here TC01 add skills. So what I have to do after login, what I have to do, which page I have to call, which method I have to execute? Skills. So skills page has skills page object I have to create. So this is my class. Creating skills page object. S1 dot. So what is the method to pass the driver? So this is the method I have written. And S1 dot, what is the method I have written? Add skills method I have to call. So that the set of driver instruction will be. So first of all, I'm passing the driver to skill space, and if I will execute my program, add skills method will be executed. So let me run my program. Okay, so So I'm closing everything. I am going to run my TC01 add skills. Oh, my test case automation is completed. How much time it is taking? So I'm not writing login, logout or anything. Only that specific method I have to develop in that corresponding entity. Just I need to call my methods. That's it, over. Test case automation completed. So within fraction of seconds, I'm able to complete all my automation because of code reusability. So the advantage of page object model is once you develop one method in a particular entity, that can be reusable wherever you want to call. So login method, logout methods, navigation methods, wherever you want to call, just you can create the object and you can call the required methods. It will be executed as per your test case function flow. Okay, so like that. So that's why most of the companies, 70 to 80% of the companies, they are following page object model approach. So page object model means for every web page, we will write a separate Java class and corresponding methods will be implemented. And coming to the main test case development, we can create object for every class and we will call the required methods as per the test case functional flow. So that's it on the page object model. Okay. Is everyone clear on the page object model approach? Any doubts? Okay, fine. So we have left. Yes.
Sir, object repository method ఉంది కదా సార్
ఆ టాపిక్ చెప్తాను. ఆ టాపిక్ ఇంకా టైం ఉంది. సో ఈ టాపిక్ లో ఏదైనా డౌట్ ఉంది
అంటే అది కూడా యూజ్ చేసి మనం సెపరేట్ గా వేరే
పేజ్ ఫ్యాక్టరీ మోడల్, అది నెక్స్ట్ టాపిక్ చెప్తున్నాను.
ఓకే.
So is everyone is clear about the page object model? So the next concept is page factory model. So okay, anyway we have only 1 minute. I'm going to share you the link. So after page factory model, we can close the session for today. Okay, it will take just 15 minutes only.